Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 35 live pre-shoot. I'm Paul.
And I am Aaron.
This is the Fin Factor, which I forgot to say right on the top there. But so we are standing by. Obviously, Aaron's here with the laptop, and he is ready to take your comments and your questions. And we will be ready, probably not ready, but we will try to answer them
As best as we can.
Yeah, so good stuff. So yeah, please go ahead and shoot your questions out, and we will address them as we see fit.
Yep. So in the meantime, we had a great time at the All-Star Weekend, not just the game or the skills competition. Paul got to see a lot more. You got to see pretty much almost every event that they had, right?
Yeah, I saw. Well, yeah, I saw all of the skill stuff. Obviously, you were with me on that one. Then I saw the game. That was that sucked. I'm gonna say it just sucked.
Your son was crying.
Yeah, no, seriously, there was my son was very upset.
Yeah.
He was like, they scored, and he banged the thing, and he'd get mad. And then it happened again, and I'm like, hey man, it's okay. It's just, they're just out there having fun. They're not really trying. But he took it as like the Sharks like getting pummeled.
Yeah.
And so they scored again. He was like, he got mad, and then his face just kind of melted. He's like that, and I was like, oh buddy. So I felt really bad, and I tweeted out to the Sharks. I think I was or something. I forget who it was. But I'm like, hey, Pacific Division, thanks a lot. You made my son. This game is so bad. You made my son cry.
Yeah.
I felt really bad for him. But hey, man, you live and you learn, and he's learning that it's not a big deal, especially in the All-Star game. It's not a big deal, man. There's always tomorrow.
Especially the All-Star game.
Especially, yeah.
There's no
there is nothing to worry about.
I don't even know why they named defenders to the All-Star game. They should just all be forwards. Just go.
I could see not having a mandatory amount of defenders or something, right?
Right.
I could see that, for sure.
You get 2.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a lot of questions coming in.
Oh, wow, okay.
Okay, first one. Any trade targets we should go for? Another one. Thoughts on Zuccarello as a possible trade candidate?
I like that one.
He could play right wing on Jumbo's line, allow Pavs to play with Cooch and Meyer.
Well, Pav's not really playing with Jumbo's line right now anyway. The lines that I saw today at the practice was Thornton centering Sorensen and LeBanc. And that line actually looks okay. You've got you've got the captain, or not the captain of the team, but like the captain of the line, essentially Jumbo. And then you've got LeBanc, really good stick handling skills and playmaking ability. And then you've also got the scoring touch from Sorensen, the speed of Sorensen, and LeBanc's pretty fast too. So that lane's not too bad. I think Pavelski's playing with Couture right now, actually.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, the question was Zuccarello coming, right?
I like that.
Yeah, I think we talked about him last week or 2 weeks ago.
I can't remember if it was Zuccarello or...
Maybe we didn't talk about him. I know we talked about Brassard.
Yeah.
We talked about Johansson from New Jersey.
Yeah.
And I thought we talked about him. Maybe not.
We didn't talk about Zuccarello.
He was one of the guys that we'd put on our board, and I don't think we actually talked about during the show.
Yeah. Kevin Weeks loves him. Instead of black and yellow, Zuccarello. Yeah, Kevin Weeks loves that guy. Anyway,
what do you guys think the chances of Pavelski going to re-sign with the team? We've covered this multiple times. Mainly, it depends on Karlsson. If Karlsson signs an 8-year max deal, which he can't announce till after the trade deadline, and he'll probably be paid around 11, maybe even 12 million bucks. It's just going to come down to cap space, and I don't think it's the Sharks that. It's not like the Sharks don't want him back. So there's a lot of factors involved because we have to sign Timo Meyer, probably a longer term extension, maybe a 4-year deal.
There are a lot of guys who are up for contract renewals. I mean, Donskoy, LeBanc, Meyer. Pavelski, obviously, Karlsson. So there's quite a few guys, and it's all going to add up, and it's all going to add up really fast. So I don't know that we're going to be able to sign everybody. I think one thing, though, I will say, remember we keep talking about video game stuff?
Yeah.
So I've been playing as GMO just for fun, and I was shocked and amazed that Erik Karlsson only wanted like $5 million something a year. I was like, what?
It's a bargain.
He's like a 90 overall.
Yeah.
And he's elite defenseman, and he's 29. And he's like, yeah, just like $5 million is all I need. I'm like,
oh, EA.
Okay. Yeah, they also had Tampa Bay in like last place.
Right.
It's like, no.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's not going to be the case. We're not going to sign Erik Karlsson for $5-6 million. Yeah, like you said, it's just going to come down to cap space, and I don't think we're going to be able to fit everybody in. Of those three, the big ones, Meyer, Carlson, and Pavelski. Unfortunately, I think Meyer and Carlson make more sense than re-signing a 34-year-old or 35-year-old. As much as I love Pavelski on the team, and as much as he's been the goal scorer on the team, he's got the most goals. I think Timo Meyer's got a really high ceiling, super young, so we're going to have him for a lot longer. And Erik Karlsson, same thing. How do you miss out on that talent?
He's generational talent,
yeah.
I think. So, yeah. Hey, guys, how's it going? What do you think of the 0 points for Calgary and Vegas? Ha, ha, ha.
It's going great.
I think it's great.
Hearing that now, it's great. Yeah,
they both lost tonight.
That's good.
Are you guys going to do Saturdays? Are you guys going to Saturday's game? If everything works out, Tony and I will be going to the game. Would love to meet up. That's Patrick. I know Patrick and Tony.
Oh, nice.
I will not be there. I'm not planning on going Saturday. I don't know if you are or not.
I'll be shocked if I'm going on Saturday, and that's because my wife is going to be, I forget where it is. It's like 2.5 hours. Fresno, is that? Like 2.5 hours away? Fremont? I don't know.
South.
Whatever. Anyway, she's going to go somewhere that starts with an F, and it's going to be a 2.5 hour drive.
Fremont.
And then 2.5 hour. Yeah, it's not Fremont.
Oh.
So it's a long ways out. I don't drive anywhere, dude. So
Samsonite.
Samsonite.
I was
It
way off. Oh.
No. So she's basically going to have a really long drive, and it's just not going to happen.
Fresno's about 3 hours.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. So.
But that's south, not north.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just away.
I thought you were saying north.
Nobody cares about this anymore. Let's move past.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm not going to be able to go to that game, I don't think. I'm probably going to take the kids to the Barracuda game, though, at 1:15, because that's a lot easier to manage. So if you're going to the Barracuda game, which I would suggest you do, because I believe it's Kentucky Thoroughblades night. I could be wrong. It might be a different one of the affiliates. But they're going to have Dan Boyle, Evgeny Nabokov, Mark Smith, and somebody else. Scott Hannon. He's going to be out there. They're all going to be there signing and whatnot.
Jump off our cars and say, "Come on our show."
Basically, that'd be great. Yeah, right. I told you I talked to Mark Smith, so we'll see where that goes. But the rest of them, that'd be sweet.
All right, all-time favorite Sharks jersey and all-time favorite Sharks player. Me?
You go. Yeah, I gotta think.
I like the OG teal jersey. I think the teal's different. It's darker now than it was back then, so I think it looks different. I mean, I grew up with that, so I kind of like the original jersey. I do like where's the patch? I like this patch with the fin, which they're kind of bringing back this year. That's my favorite. I'm trying to think all-time favorite Sharks player, though. Ooh, Vinny Dampus. I kind of have different eras. Beginning era, Ulf Dahlin. That's the jersey I have. Then kind of the middle or second, I don't know, like the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Vinny Dampus was my favorite. Then I'd say, who was my favorite? I liked Marco Sturm before he got traded. And then, Pavelski probably. That's like a decade's worth right there.
Yeah. I'd say my favorite Sharks jersey, I'm probably going to go with the second black armor, the third jersey.
See the tail?
Yeah, I kind of like that one like a lot. This one here, I like that they took the was it piping or striping or whatever. I like that they took that out. I like that look more. It looks a lot cleaner to me. So I really do like this jersey when I look back at the other jerseys and what those ones looked like and comparing. But I remember this one specifically coming out and just being like, yes, because that logo, I mean, I like it, but seeing the new logo, I'm like, I kind of like it a little bit more. And so now when I look back at this one, it just kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't look right to me anymore, which is unfortunate because it was awesome when it first came out and everything. But when they did the black armor, I was like really stoked about it. And then when they did the second version of it, which was this, that for me was like, yeah, this is the best one.
Players.
Which my favorite jersey out of all these though, I still like the orange one. I think the most. It's Barracuda. Anyway,
Players.
Favorite player. Oh man.
Or player.
I mean, it's hard not to say Jumbo. It really is. I mean, especially now that this season I've been able to go to a lot of the practices and I see how hard he works and I see the camaraderie on the ice and everything, and it's just. it's a little different than just watching him on TV and just looking at his stat lines. You know, you get a feel for Joe, like the person, and that's one of the things I love about Joe. And so I would say probably Joe. Now going back, gosh, like Damphousse is a good one. I really did like Damphousse, but I'm gonna have to go with my boy. I'm gonna have to go with Owen Nolan. I mean, prototypical power forward.
Yeah.
Dude was a beast out there. The body check on Ed Belfour, if you don't love that.
Yeah. Look that up.
Yeah.
If you don't know what that is.
It's in one of our shows, too. We did a clip of it, too.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
I forget where it was, but...
Cooch seems to be every fan's lock on the next captain, but what do you think other players like Hurdle stepping up in that role? Does the fact that he's not the best in English hurt his chances?
I think he wants it.
Yeah, I don't know if he would be interested in that. And I don't think he's that kind of leader anyway. He's not to say he's not a good player. I just don't think he's as vocal as the other guys would be. So maybe not so much English being a hindrance, but his personality-wise, I think he's more of a sit-back, quieter kind of guy.
Yeah, I don't think being captain means you're the best player on the team, right? I think it's a leadership quality, and it's not to say that Hurdle doesn't have the leadership quality, but I'm with you. I think he's more of the silent type where he just goes out there and he just gets it done. I don't think he's out there trying to motivate everybody on the team as much. I think he's just out there. Maybe he's the one that gets motivated, or the way that he leads is more by example and on the ice. He doesn't really have the words to say necessarily. And then that's not like a language barrier thing. I just don't see him as that type. Guys that are that type, obviously Logan. You see Logan doing a lot of the post game interviews. And before Pavelski took over as captain, that season he was doing a lot of the post game interviews. He was like the face of all the post game stuff. Like every time, and win or lose, they always went to Pavelski, right? And it was like almost like preparing him for being the captain because they're gonna come to you now, right? So and you see Logan doing a lot of that now too. Like at post games, he does take a lot of the post game stuff. I could see a guy like Evander Kane maybe at some point being like an alternate, but I think the front runner, yeah, you're absolutely right, is Couture, and I mean that's the right move in my opinion.
Here's a great question: what's wrong with our team? What's the reasoning behind trade ideas floating around with the Sharks? I think that has more to do with the shiny new object in the room or not in the room. A similar thing happens in the season when July 1st hits and it's free agency and it's a free-for-all, and everyone complains that Doug Wilson should be fired because he's not doing anything, and the Sharks aren't going to win the Stanley Cup because he's not doing anything and not getting the highest paid player on the market.
Right.
So I think similar things are kind of happening. I mean, the Sharks are gelling right now. I think their chemistry is looking pretty good. They had that 7-game streak in January. They're still trying to find that consistency so that they're not going 7-game wins, 4-game loss, 7 win. You know, just trying to get more consistent. And I don't think a lot of people. Wayne Simmons is a guy that just keeps getting thrown out there. And yes, Wayne Simmons would look great as a Shark. We don't think that the Sharks are going to have enough to get him compared to other teams.
Prior to us going live here, you actually gave me a couple other names that would look really good in teal. Do you remember?
Right. I was like, yeah, Wayne Simmons would look great in teal. So would Ovechkin. So would McDavid. So would Crosby. You know, it's just what's the price you're going to pay to get them on there. So, and it's not what the Sharks are. You know, Philadelphia, I think I posted this on Twitter. Philadelphia is not going to give him away for free. They're not going to do the Sharks a favor and be like, oh, you know what, we want Joe to win a cup this year. Here, take Wayne Simmons.
Right.
They're looking for what's best for their team.
Yeah.
So packaging, you have that tweet or something from someone that had 5 players or something.
That
for Wayne
best,
Simmons.
Yeah. Let me see if I can dig up my note on that one actually. So yeah, and I have it right here.
I had it up, but
so this person, and
you don't have to throw him under the bus.
I would love to throw him under the bus because here's what happened. He went back and forth with me a bunch, and he got really, really sarcastic, and I was being very kind about it. And then he blocks me on Facebook.
Oh wow!
So, yeah,
this is on Facebook.
I got the block. So it was Twitter. Sorry, I was on Twitter. I think.
I didn't know you could block people.
Yeah, no, I got the block. So I don't mind throwing him under the bus because whatever.
Don't do it.
Anyway,
don't do it.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm bigger than that.
Take the high road.
Perfect example of a bad video game trade mentality. Here it is. Dell, Sorensen, LeBanc, Thornton for Simmons.
Pretty sure.
Let's work our way backwards. Thornton for Simmons. Okay, I mean all those guys obviously, but as Thornton as part of it. Why would a team in Philadelphia, who's trading away Wayne Simmons and is clearly saying we're not going to make playoffs, want a 39-year-old with 2 reconstructed knees on the last year of his contract?
He also has a no movement clause.
With a no
Wanted to
move
make
clause.
sure.
But if you could say, what the hell, I'll play in Philly. Let's pretend he did. Let's say he was like, I just always wanted to have a really good Philly cheesesteak every day for the rest of my life. Right? I want to go to Philly. Okay, fine. There you go. Why would Philadelphia want Joe Thornton? They don't want him.
Why would they want? What was it Thornton and Dell?
Dell.
Okay, I thought he was a free agent.
Because they
He's
need a
not.
guy to back up Carter Hart, apparently.
Right, Carter Hart's the future. So
Why they don't need that? Okay, so Sorensen, LeBanc. I'm sorry, but none of these individually or collectively is enough for Wayne Simmons. Nor does any of this really make any sense for them to want. I can see them wanting LeBanc.
maybe
Maybe. Thank you.
they have enough wingers.
Thank you.
As it is,
So we don't have the picks to support it. We have the assets. Don't get me wrong. We have the assets.
But that's essentially trading our third line for one player.
And here's the thing.
Then who do you put in for those other 2 slots?
See, here's the thing. And then I hear people on the other side saying, man, we gave up so much to get Erik Karlsson. And I'm going,
No, we didn't.
the biggest piece of the trade to get Erik Karlsson was the third line center.
Yeah.
A great one that I miss, but that was the biggest piece.
And some draft
Oh, no, it
picks.
was a first-round pick. A first-round pick that's going to be like number 25 or something like
Right.
that, or hopefully 31. We'll see.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ottawa trades away that pick to get maybe move it even
Oh, yeah.
higher or something.
Yeah,
or
they'll
lower,
bump up.
Who knows,
Sure.
you know? Yeah.
Because Colorado's going to pick first overall now. So I cannot
forgot
believe
about that.
Yep.
Oh, Duchesne.
Maybe they'll be able to trade with Colorado. They won't notice.
Yeah, right. One, there's nothing wrong with our team. Second, there's nothing wrong with considering the options to give us an edge for the playoffs.
I agree.
It's not that I'm against trading anybody.
I agree.
I just don't think we're going to be able to afford to get those bigger name, like Wayne Simmons,
Yeah.
like Ovechkin. Like, no, he's trading for that. But my point is, like, we're probably looking for a third, fourth line guy, maybe a fourth line center.
There have been some grumblings about Duchesne.
Right. Yeah,
Recently.
Duchesne has been linked somehow to the Sharks.
But
I
the
don't
thing
know where,
is,
but
and I'm not against seeing how we can make the team better. I'm all for that, but I also kind of want to be a little realistic about it. I don't think getting Wayne Simmons is a realistic option. Not even just in that we don't have the assets. I'm sorry. Let me go back to that. We do have the assets. If you want to give up Timo Meier, if you want to give up Tomas Hertl, if you want, you know what I'm saying. If you want to give up those guys that are staples in the team to get a rental that you're not going to be able to afford to pay in the next year when you have to re-up his contract, then okay, sure, we have the assets. But of the guys that we want to keep, the rest of the team, we don't have enough to get any of those guys, in my opinion. So going back to the Erik Karlsson trade, we didn't have to give up a whole lot. That trade looks really, 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 really good to me. When you consider what we're talking about having to give up to get a Wayne Simmons, that seems like it's more than to get Karlsson.
I think Karlsson that trade will look better if he signs.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If he doesn't sign, then I think it's even. I don't think it's bad for the Sharks, but I don't think it was like such a lopsided win.
Yeah.
What would make it lopsided is if he signed an 8-year deal and the Sharks had him.
Oh yeah.
That would make it just unreal. Yeah.
As far as what's wrong with the Sharks, yeah, I'm with you on that one. I don't think anything's really wrong with us. I think we're good, and it goes back to what, like episode 2. Did the Sharks did Doug Wilson need to do anything?
Look at this. You know what?
No.
The standings. League overall standings. The Sharks are 5th. 5th in the league.
And we're saying, what's wrong
In the
with
league.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, did that change? Oh, no, I clicked the wrong button. Yeah, they're 5th. Nashville has 1 more point, and we have a game in hand. Winnipeg has 3 more points, and they have a game in hand. But if Calgary wasn't so hot, the Sharks would be winning the division, obviously, because they'd be winning. But the Pacific Division is still weak, in my opinion. It's just the top 3 teams, San Jose, Vegas, and Calgary, are just going up, up, up. So follow-up question to that is, considering the other team, how important is it the Sharks to get first in the division, since there's such a gap between the wild card and the top 3 in the Pacific, so we only have to play Calgary or Vegas, not both? I think either way we have to play both, because the way the format is, or it depends on whoever wins the division.
Yeah.
If they have more points than the other division.
Yeah.
Right. They play the wild card teams.
So here, no, it's 1, 2, 3 in each division, and then the 2 wild cards slot in, right,
against the one team,
against the number 1 team in each
right.
division, right. The worst team goes into the division that has the best of the 2 divisions, right.
Right.
So if we finish in the second position, and Calgary's number 1, Vegas is 3, then Calgary's probably going to beat whoever the wild card is. We would have to beat Vegas and Calgary. I see what you're saying. So if we get in the 1 slot,
so
Calgary and Vegas play each other, then one of those guys gets eliminated. And yeah.
You know, I was listening to NHL radio. This was like 2 weeks ago, and the players, the players and the teams, they don't care because there's no easy way to win a cup. There's no easy road. Every team is going to be tough. The parity is so ridiculous that it doesn't matter if they play Calgary and Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what's the alternative? Playing whoever the wild card team is first and then playing them?
Right.
I think the road's going to go through them either way, so it doesn't matter. I think people get a little too involved with it and a little too stressed about it.
Yeah.
So I don't there's no easy way to win a cup, and regardless, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, in terms of the importance of it, I would say it's not as important as most folks would believe it to be.
I'm happy the Sharks aren't fighting for that wild card spot.
No, that's
They're pretty much. I mean, they're not locked in, but they would have to have a disastrous last couple months and then be in the wild card spot. So I don't think it's as important to win the division as it is to just get in. That's what I think.
Okay.
And maybe even get that second seed. Maybe not shoot for the first seed, but the second seed, so at least you have home ice over Vegas.
Sure.
I'm assuming that's going to be.
Yeah.
So I think that's a little bit more important, especially because Vegas is so good at home, and the Sharks just do not do well there. And I think I skipped over some. A bunch just came in. Okay, consider other. This is going back to the trades, especially in our division. Other teams in the division will make trades to get better, so why stand pat if you can get better too? Again, I'm not saying no trades or anything.
Yeah, I think there's a misunderstanding. We're not saying don't trade. We're just saying that the trade for Wayne Simmonds is not a realistic trade. That's what we're saying. Can we get better? Yeah, we can get better, but it's not. If you want to get better by adding Wayne Simmonds, you're gonna have to get rid of something else that's a big piece of the team that's all already. So it's almost a push then, and then you got to talk about re-signing Wayne Simmonds because he's going to be UFA, versus one of the players that you've had on your roster. So again, like let's go back to it, Tomas Hertl or a Timo Meier. I mean, these are the types of guys you're going to have to give up. This is what Philadelphia is going to want. They're not going to say, we'll take LeBanc in your third.
Give us your
third round
scraps.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. And I know that it seems like they might, because that seems to be what Ottawa took for Erik Karlsson.
Well, he came with draft picks. He got a first round for him.
And
just saying, like,
that's fine, but
not
again,
having that first round, I think, is a big deal.
And that's true. That's true. They're going to want a first round pick.
Yeah,
and we don't have that. So that, again, we don't
because
have
they're
the
gonna.
assets.
I mean, Muzzin got a first round pick.
That's true.
LA traded Muzzin, got a first round pick for him. So I
don't know if that's setting the bar so much as that was just a stupid thing to do.
I think that sets the bar a little bit.
Well, but it's also Toronto. Toronto figures they're going to go all the way. So that first round
it's
pick
gonna
is
be
going
a
to
late first round pick.
Yeah.
But if the Sharks had a first round pick, it would be a late round pick too.
Yeah.
Any chance of Doug convincing Karlsson down to closer to $8 million is comparable to Burns and showing that they can keep building a strong team, saving the extra few million? No,
I don't think so.
I think going back to setting the precedent, when Doughty signed his $11 million contract, that is now the level that Karlsson's going to want. And if Doug's not going to be like, take a home team discount of $3 million, when Karlsson be like, I can hit free agency and get 12. Like, why would I do that?
Yeah.
So he needs to look out for himself
and his family
and all that stuff. Not to say like, it's so greedy going for 11, 12 million bucks, but he's earned it.
Yeah.
And he's never been paid enough to where he took a discount on his last contract.
Yeah.
So why would he do that to himself again? So no, I don't think so. I think it's going to be 11 at least, maybe 12.
I think the only thing that San Jose has going for it in terms of retaining him is that we have treated him so well and his wife so well, and I think he's had enough time here now that he's like his eyes are open to San Jose a little bit more as a place for him to have his family and build his family around. But he's not gonna say, oh, I'll take $8 million instead so that I can play here instead, of testing the market and going anywhere else. Because you got to think he can go anywhere he wants to go. California is great. There's 2 other teams in California. He can go anywhere he wants to go, right? So I don't know. I just don't see that happening. I would love it to happen, I'm in the same mind as you. Actually, I like the idea. If I was a player, I would like the idea of potentially taking a little bit off the top in terms of what they would want to pay me, so that I can ensure that my team is better. Because if my team is better, I'm gonna have a better time playing with them, and we're probably gonna win more championships that way. And ultimately, as a player who is competitive, it is about money, but you're there for a reason. You want to hoist that cup. You want to raise it. You don't want to be in Joe Thornton's shoes, for instance, where you're 39 years old playing on 2 reconstructed knees, knowing that you're probably not going to be playing much more after this, and this could be your last opportunity to get it. And had you only taken $1 million or 2 less, looking back at that age, I think the player would rather be hoisting the cup than having an extra $1 million or 2 in his pocket. So I'm kind of with you on that one, but I just don't see it happening. I think he's going to end up signing for $11 million or so.
Yeah. Thoughts on Bibeau? What's his NHL debut projection in your opinion? Unless Dell gets traded by the deadline,
even then,
they'd probably bring him up as a backup. You don't think they'd bring Bibeau?
Here's why I don't think they would bring up Bibeau right away. I think they'd bring up Coronar first, because he's got a 2-way contract.
Bibeau does not.
Bibeau would have to pass through waivers.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's why.
I think they bring up Coronar first, and if he works out, and I'm probably butchering that name, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they bring him up first. They give him a shot. They give him a look. If he looks good, no harm, no foul. We got him. That's our backup. Great. If he doesn't look good, push him back down. Then bring up Bibeau. And if he doesn't look good, you ride Jones. Right?
They're gonna do that either way.
Yeah. So that's the way I see it going down. I think you have better chance by testing the other guy first and then bringing up Bibeau.
I didn't watch Barracuda often, but I noticed Alex True is the current points leader. Does he have a potential to compete for the 4th line center spot?
Alex True, if I remember, is a big boy. I think he's a bigger guy.
Stats.
I could be wrong on that, but I think he's a bigger guy. Radil wasn't. I don't think he was the point leader when they brought him up. Yeah, 6'5". There you go.
Jeez.
He's a big kid. Radil, I don't think was the points leader when they brought him up. There was something that they saw in Radil that they're like, this is going to translate well to the NHL.
His 200-foot game,
yeah,
which is what they want.
So then you've got guys like Francis Perron, who was leading it, I guess, before True was. And you're thinking, well, maybe he has a shot, right? But there's something about his game that they don't think is going to translate well to the NHL, obviously, because they haven't given him a look, and I'm sure they could have. So, yeah, True. I mean, he could, but I don't think he's going to jump in as like the scoring guy. I think you're right. Like you said, 4th line center position maybe, but I think it's going to be because he's just a humongous human being and he can play both ends of the rink.
Yeah, if he can show, that's what they look more towards, especially for the 4th line, are guys that could play a 200-foot game and are responsible in their zone, because they're going to get pinned in their zone at some point, being on the 4th line. But being a big guy helps as long as he can move and skate. But he does have a scoring punch, which is even better. So, yeah, I think he could compete, but I still think they might be hitting the market for it. I mean, we'll know. Well, obviously, we're going to know the roster by the end of the trade deadline, which is the 25th, I believe, of February.
I think there was Brian Boyle.
Right, that was another one.
From New Jersey. Brian Boyle and even New Jersey fans were saying,
New Jersey or Rangers?
No, I think it's Jersey.
No, he used to play.
Could be wrong. Pretty sure it's Jersey. Yeah, he used to play for the Rangers though.
You're right.
So they're saying he'd be a really good pickup for the 4th line. He's a very responsible guy. Plays in the PK. I guess he does a little bit of power play time too. I'm not sure, and he's another gigantic human being, right? So I could see him working out, and I don't think Jersey would want too much for him necessarily.
Someone said I'm pretty sure True's a poor skater, so I'm not sure he would fit in our style.
Okay.
Don't think he has the high-end hockey sense that Pavelski has either.
Well, Pavelski. That's I mean, I wouldn't compare it to Pavelski in terms of
Wow.
trying to match hockey sense. Yeah,
Right.
it's not really fair. Yeah.
When I watch Jones, I feel like the stats are misleading. The way the Sharks play leads to few shots, but when opposing team does get shots, they are high scoring chances. I agree. I think the Sharks block a lot of shots. I think they're usually one of the top blocking shot blockers in the league. So the ones that do get through are the higher danger chances. That, and they've been playing out of position a lot.
Yeah.
Not out of position is not the right word. Just they're not as tight
Sloppy.
of a unit. Yeah, they've been playing sloppy. So I think that's a big part of why they've been scoring a lot of goals on Jones. Vlasic's coming back
Yeah.
tomorrow, and he was just
Reportedly.
well, DeBoer said that he knows it's 30 games and he knows he needs to step up his game.
Yeah.
So I bet you we're going to see the Vlasic of old in the next, the rest of the season,
Right.
next 30 games. So I'm not too worried. I think, and I've been saying this all along, that I think what's going to happen is the Sharks are going to get tighter and tighter towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
You're going to see goal scoring go down across the league because power plays aren't going to be called as much, and it's already starting to happen. There was a stat I think last week that I brought up.
Oh, really?
So you're going to see it a lot more now where games are going to be 1-goal games. There's going to be a lot of overtime games. So there's going to be a lot of 3-point games in the standings. But I think the Sharks are going to really clamp down. And sounds like Carlson's not playing, huh? You didn't see him?
He wasn't at practice. I can't imagine he's going to play. Now, I don't think he re-injured himself or he shouldn't have played in the All-Star game or whatever else. I think he was just had whatever injury he was having, and it was going to take longer than the All-Star game, and it was going to take longer than the next day or the next game anyway. And he just made the decision that, I'm not going to hurt it any more than it already is by going out there and doing little bits of skating here and there.
Yeah.
He was not chugging really hard. That's probably part of the reason that Pacific lost so bad.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
He's in cruise control.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to injure it, but he just wanted to be there for the fans. I thought that was great. But yeah, I don't think Carlson's coming back anytime really soon. Maybe in a week, but who knows? Who knows what he's dealing with?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Hello. If Doug gets traded, Doug brings in a vet backup, not a CUDA goalie.
Maybe, but then if he brings in a vet backup, you have to trade for him. So then you have to give up an asset to get a vet goalie, right?
Well, if you're trading Dell, you're getting another goalie back.
If you're going to trade Dell, to me it doesn't make sense to trade your backup to get a more veteran backup. I think Dell has played well enough that he can handle just being the backup, and that's okay. I think if you're going to trade Dell, you're going to trade Dell to a team that's looking for maybe a backup solution, and you're going to get something else from them for that. So
or a potential starter, or
yeah,
maybe not starter, but a 1A 1B situation.
Yeah.
He's split time.
And I don't think you take their backup because they obviously would be happy with them.
They're probably alluding to Bobrovsky.
Oh gosh.
That's it. We're caught up. So you got any more
Yay.
questions? You can hit us up. We'll be here for another 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna be recording our show tonight.
Yeah.
So
Do you have any suggestions on some points to talk about? Because we have stuff to talk about, but obviously there hasn't been anything going on for this entire week. So if there's something that's kind of picking at your brain and you think it'd be good for us to talk about, then go for it. That's actually in our outro. It says if you have anything you want us to talk about, let us know. And nobody ever makes it to the outro. I don't think. I think they shut it off. I think they shut it off as soon as we start doing the outro.
Yeah.
So if you do have some topics that you think would be good for the show, let us know what those are, and we'll have a look at maybe incorporating that.
Nick Kyprius on TSN expects to make another move. Boyle's not built for the Western Conference. He's too slow. How many Sharks are going to get 30 goals this year? I'm pretty sure they haven't had one since 2016. Pavelski. Hurdle. Kane, I think, will get there. Meyer. That should be about it.
I think so. How many goals does Bernsey have?
He's not.
He's got like 10 or something.
I think I think it was who was it? I'm blanking on his name. He's on Detroit now.
Mike Green.
Mike Green.
Huh.
I don't think anyone since Mike Green and before that was like from the 80s had 30 goals as a defenseman.
Yeah.
Let me look up the Sharks stats. I should have that pulled up. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I think what did they say? We have seven skaters now with 30 points or more.
30 goals is what they were asking.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm saying I think the stat now is we have before we had like 5. I think now it's like 7.
8. LeBanc has 30.
LeBanc has 30.
Yeah. So we have 8 players.
Not bad for a guy that's been floating in between the
Pavelski needs
third and fourth lines.
Pavelski's got 27. He needs 3 more. That's a given.
That's yeah.
Hurdle's got 22. Kane's got 21. Myers got 19. Couture has 19. He could do it. So we could potentially have 5 30-goal scorers. I don't think Donskoy will get there. He's at 14, but he's too streaky.
Yeah.
Since we know Jones is better in the playoffs, what is the key to the Sharks team having success in the playoffs? What is the key to the Sharks team having success?
Tight defense.
Yeah. And they've said it. Even the guys have said that they've had their closed-door meetings, and they said, this is, I think, after the Calgary game on New Year's Eve, their offense is going to come from a good defense.
Yeah.
They're going to keep the puck out. It's going to come out, and they're going to transition into offense. And it worked, and they went on that huge streak. So they know what they need to do. I think it's just a matter of execution and guys staying healthy because Karlsson's not healthy. Vlasic wasn't, and now is hopefully back. I think what's great is having this week off, other than for those 3 All-Stars, is that was a big break because a lot of teams went back starting on Monday. The Sharks had the entire week off up until tomorrow night. So they got a bigger break than most people did. And I think all those little dings and banged up stuff that you don't really – there's not an injury, but you're not 100%. A lot of guys are going to come back 100%. I think they're going to be firing on all cylinders. Maybe not the first game. Maybe they have a little bit of rust. But then after that, we have a tough week next week. Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, and Arizona. I mean, those are tough games. So, yeah.
It's funny when you talk about bumps and bruises and not actual like injuries, right? I didn't notice until I started going to the practices. Poor Tomas, like it looks like he's always got like little black eyes on one side or the other or both, like all the time. And I don't notice it on TV, and maybe I'm not looking for it, or maybe there's like I can't imagine they put makeup on or something like that. But like every time I see him in practice, it's like the poor guy's got like kind of like a little bit of just a slight shiner on one eye or the other or both, like all the time. So yeah, it would be nice, to kind of just the little bumps and bruises and things, stuff that you don't see under the pads, obviously, get those healed up. That'd be nice.
Where do you see Braun's future with the team? Is he a potential trade bait? I don't think so this year, just because he's a pretty. I mean, who do you fill in his spot for unless you're getting another defender back, which is silly because the Sharks have one of the best defensemen in the league. So, or defense core. I don't think he would be trade bait, at least for this season. Maybe in the summer.
I don't understand the call for trading Braun, because it's not the first time. I'm not saying you're saying we should trade him, but I've definitely seen other people say
I think it's more of people looking for people that could be traded to get someone else.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it depends on what the someone else is, but if you're talking about a better defenseman, I don't know that. It's in the same way that why would you trade the backup for a backup? Why would the other team want to do that, right? In the same way that why would they want to take a defenseman that we would want to give up? I mean, obviously there's an exception to that. We saw that's how we got Brendan Dillon, right? We gave up Demers. I think that was just a shakeup. I think that was just, hey, figure it out, guys. If you're not going to play well, we're going to shake this team up. I think that's what that was. And Demers was just the unfortunate beneficiary of that. Now it's great that we have Dillon, but I don't think that we need to trade Braun. I think what needs to happen with Braun and with Vlasic, like you just said, there's the next 30 games or so, it's time to step up. It's time to play better the way that you can.
Yeah. Well, I think it's
That's
funny
what I think we need.
is people want like the Wayne Simmons type player. They want these high scoring guys. The Sharks are the third highest scoring team in the league. I don't know why we need to improve the offense when I think it's the defense, like just the team defense that needs to tighten up and get better. I think they're okay. I mean, there are some players, but again, we're going back to what we said earlier is like a third or fourth line guy. Granted, we did say Duchesne, who I think would be a high scoring guy, but Duchesne I think could be a type of player that is kind of like Carlson coming in and we could re-sign. He'd be a rental, but potential to re-sign for the future because he would take over Thornton's role.
Yeah.
If Thornton doesn't play anymore.
The thing with Duchesne though is that I guess Ottawa was offering him $8 million, and apparently that's not a starting point for him. So would we be able to pay Duchesne? Well, if he's just playing hardball with Ottawa and he would take a lot less going to a team he actually wants to play for, then okay, maybe we could afford him. But if he wants $8 million, there's no way. For that, you may as well just re-sign Pavelski, right?
Yeah.
The nice thing about Duchesne, though, is that if we can get him not as a rental player, if you can get him on the team, I mean, that means you've got, I mean, think of your center depth now.
Oh,
if you've
ridiculous.
You got Duchesne and Couture.
Yeah,
your first two lines are insane if you have him.
Some of the keys to cup-winning teams is center depth, and then defensive depth. And Sharks, I think, have center depth right now.
Yeah.
They have 3 top centers.
Yeah.
So...
it's not even. I wouldn't even say center depth. They have line depth.
Yes. Yeah.
Full on line depth. I mean,
Right.
when you're talking about Evander Kane on the third line, like that's nuts. You know what I mean? So I know. I think we're in a really good position. Do I think we need to do anything else? No, not really. If we see a trade, I would be shocked if it's for anything more than just a guy that plays a few minutes here and there, who's just super solid. On his own end and can play in the penalty kill. I think that's really all they need. And to the comment earlier about Boyle not fitting in the Western style, they're not fast enough for this team. Joe Thornton, Joe Pavelski, those two guys, the entire career, right? And especially lately, they're too slow. They're too slow. They're too slow. And Thornton is still going and playing extremely well.
Right.
And Pavelski is the goal leader on the team currently. So I don't think we can just write someone off because they don't have foot speed. Again, a good pass is going to beat however fast you can skate every time. So, and I think that's one of the things that helps Joe Thornton stay relevant is that he's got the hockey sense and the mind to get that puck into areas where he's going to beat anybody who's skating with the pass. So I don't know. I see what you're saying, and I understand that the game's getting faster. I agree with you. But I don't think we could just write someone off and say, oh, they're just too slow. Because what they bring is more than just being fast, right? So that's my take on it.
And all right. A couple comments here. Let's talk about the importance of a healthy Tomas Hertl. Hertl, and what we can expect from him season total-wise and scoring moving forward. Okay.
Dude, Tomas had a crazy dangle today at practice. He walked. I think it was Dylan. He walked right around Dylan. It was nuts. Yeah, it just toe dragged him. I think is what it was.
Did everyone like, oh?
No, everyone was like, yeah. And then he goes because they were doing 2-on-2 drills, and like he just had this little like jitter, and then he toe dragged him, and Dylan just got left in the dust, and people went nuts. And then it's like Hertl and the other defenseman, whoever it was up again with Kane. And so now it's turned into a 2-on-1 because Dylan's behind the play. And Hertl makes this move like he's going to shoot, passes it off, and Kane fires and misses. And Kane was so mad. He was like visibly upset on the ice. It was hilarious. But to answer your question, it's imperative that Hertl is healthy. It really is.
I think last year he was finally healthy.
Yeah.
Going into the season. This year, again, healthy. I think this is a Hertl that we were expecting to see 4 years ago, and he's finally coming into his own. It's just the injuries kind of derailed him and pushed him off to where he's not, until now, playing to what he should have been. So his potential kind of got stunted a little bit. His growth got stunted. So I think Hertl is an amazing player and is going to continue to get better, and his confidence is obviously growing, so that's helping. He seemed to be like the last 2 seasons the guy that always got in the right place at the right time when making moves and just could not score, could not finish, couldn't bury it. And now he's been doing that a lot more.
Yeah, I think the thing that I see, there's 2 things that I see about Tomas that just blow my mind when I look back at the younger Tomas. his stick handling ability has grown leaps and bounds. I mean, this season we've seen already the first game of the year when he had that one that was shorthanded, and he banked it off the boards to himself, or no, it was off the boards. He just toe dragged that guy too.
Yeah.
And then he just walked around and made it look silly. That goal was amazing, and it's still up for goal of the year.
He wants to be like Jaromir Jagr, and he is
succeeding.
Yeah, not quite to Jagr level when Jagr was in his elite, but he's Jagr light for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a big body who could move.
And that's the second thing is the puck protection. He uses his big butt, he says, right? His puck protection skills have gone off the charts, especially when he's behind the net. You good luck.
Yeah.
You better body him, because if you don't, he's walking around and he's going to be one-on-one with the goaltender at really close range. So his big butt puck protecting skills and his stick handling have been absolutely phenomenal, and we're not having even touched on the goal scoring aspect yet.
All right.
And so I think it's imperative. He's really given 3 solid lines. That's one of the things we were missing, was a solid third line center, and we've got it.
Yep. I'd expect Braun to be traded this offseason to free up cap to try and sign Pavs or help afford Myers' new deal, possibly. Could you see Zuccarello as a potential trade or rental option? We talked about that earlier. Yes. I think the Sharks have the deepest scoring roster in the league, the most players of 10-plus goals, 25 points. Did we get to meet Miss Jackie Redmond or Jamie Hirsch from NHL Network? No, unfortunately, we did not get to meet them. We met a lot of other people, but I didn't really get to see them. I think they were doing a lot of stage work where they were away from everyone else, so not in the scrum where we were, so we didn't get to see them. Sorry, I'm flying through these quick. The Rangers will want more than the Sharks can give for Zuccarello, possibly.
That's the problem, I think. Yeah, I think it's a great pickup, but in the same vein as not having the assets for Simmons, I don't think we have the assets that New York would want.
Yeah, Duchesne would be amazing. Probably the same deal.
Probably the same, yeah.
Do you expect some rough stuff from the Sharks play the Flames next week? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Have you seen
Bennett?
that Flames team?
Bennett.
Bennett.
Yeah.
And Kachuk.
No. I'm saying, remember when Bennett?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But Bennett and Kachuk, those two guys,
sure.
they're just whatever starters. I don't want to say it, but just dreams. But Zingle will be amazing as well. Love that kid's game. Yes, but also he's been getting pretty popular.
Yeah.
So again,
I think his value shot up.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Doug trying to get Kovalchuk from LA? Maybe some clause that Covey retire at the end of the season. No, LA won't deal on.
No.
LA won't deal with the Sharks.
Yeah.
In order for us to get Jones, LA traded
Boston.
Jones to Boston for Lucic in a first round steal
Yeah.
by Boston, and then Boston turned around and sent Jones to the Sharks for another first round. So Boston made out getting 2 first round picks for Lucic, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the Kings were pissed that they turned around and traded him the next day to the Sharks.
It wasn't the next day. It was
the following day.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
because it was the day one is
Yeah.
just round one,
Yeah.
and then it was the second day of the thing.
We are close to out of time here. So you wanna...
Heard a rumor during the All-Star week. Almost done.
Okay.
Heard a rumor during the All-Star weekend that Pavelski would consider retiring if the Sharks win the Cup. He's too young to retire.
Yeah, it's young.
I don't know.
Thornton will retire. Maybe.
Honest question: do the Sharks need a player to replace LeBanc? If LeBanc only plays fourth line minutes and no power play minutes, his style of play is not for the fourth line. Yes, I think they do need a player to replace him. I bet we could see him if he doesn't pick up his game in his 200-foot game, which is it sounds like that's the problem. He's not fit for the fourth line because it's like putting a Ferrari, on the fourth line. Not that he's that good of it, but my point is like he's not like a workhorse type thing. You're putting this player that's an offensive machine on a fourth line role, and it's not good for him. It's not good for the team. So I think they need help there.
Yeah. Cool.
Defense be scared. Hurl's coming. LeBanc plays on the power play. He is right now because he was in practice because Carlson wasn't there.
Yeah.
So he's getting some more power play time. Plus, everyone had a rest. They had a break. They probably regrouped and were like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. So
Cool.
We are out of time. Thanks for joining in, and we appreciate it. And we will be recording our episode, which will be out. When are we gonna get that out? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Producer Jay? Yeah.
Super.
So it'll be out tomorrow.
There you go.
Right.
So,
check it out before the Sharks game tomorrow night.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you are on Discord or something like that, maybe hit me up on Discord and let me know if you're going to go to that game, the Barracuda game, because I will meet up with you guys and say hello. Otherwise, thank you again for tuning in. We love your comments and your questions. Please feel free to visit the store, get the swag, and we will see you
Tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.